All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayasha Dabadat, the house of David. I am Ayashatab with Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp, coming to you through the will and power of Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi. All right. I have a lesson today. Don't know the title once again, but through the will and power of Yahawashi Shai, Lord willing, be edifying unto the body. All right. I'm going to start in the book of Exodus, and it's going to be Exodus chapter 23. Salakia. Exodus chapter 23 and verse 20. And it reads, Behold, I send an angel before thee, to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. 21. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. All right? And if you have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, all right, you'll know that this is Yahawashi. All right? This was Yahawashi leading the children of Israel out of Egypt. All right? And so it was given to us by Yahawah that it was supposed to be, we were supposed to be perfect. All right? He already gave us a warning. This was one of those clauses in the contract, all right, that he had warned us and given us. All right? He said that his name, all right, this angel that he set before us, this messenger, which was Yahawashi, all right, he had set before us, would not pardon us, all right, if we went out of the way. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to read 21 again, just for edification. And it reads, Book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 21. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. All right? And Yahawah is perfect. All right? So be ye perfect as I am perfect, roughly paraphrasing scripture. All right? So his son will be on one accord with the Father. All right? And give the judgments as fit. All right? And the judgments as fit was Israel was going off, so Israel had to be taken down. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans had to be chastised. All right? Whose father's line starts back with the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. All right? And the speckled birds whose father's line starts with the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. All right? That look like the heathen nations. All right? So, Salakia, let me get back into the lesson on point. All right? But going to the book of Matthew, this is going to be chapter 28, and this is verse 18, and it reads, And Yahawashi came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. All right? And I read this because this proves that Yahawah had given all power to Yahawashi. All right? All power was given to him after the resurrection. All right? After he was resurrected in the New Testament. But in the Old Testament, he was still our deliverer, delivering us out of the land of Egypt. All right? But we had went off and we needed a lamb without blemish. That's why Yahawah sent him back. Okay? Go on further to prove it. I'm going to go back into the book of Exodus. All right? And to show you that Yahawashi was always there. This is going to be the book of Exodus. Salakia, it's going to be chapter 13 and verse 21. And it reads, And Yahawah went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead the way, Salakia, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor pillar of fire by night from before the people. All right, so Yahawah sent Yahawashi to be a deliverer unto us. All right, Yahawashi has always been there. All right. He has always been there for his people. All right. He was always sent by Yahawah to do his work. All right. And to be that sacrificial lamb ultimately for the entire nation of Israel, but first and foremost for the 1/3. Okay. And to continue to prove this. All right. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. All right. I'm going to the book of Judges to show you through the will and power of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi, to show you exactly what Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi does. All right, he is not a power that would forsake his people. All right, Israel was never done away with. All right, but we did get chastised for our disobedience. Okay, Slakia. This is going to be the book of Judges. It's going to be chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, And an angel of Yahawah came up from Gilgal and Gilgal and Bakim, and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and have brought you unto the land which I swore unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with thee. All right? So it is Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. It is Yahawah who allowed Yahawashi to establish this covenant with his people. All right? For the deliverance of his people. Continuing on, verse 2. And ye shall make no language with the inhabitants of the land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this? All right, so this is Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi asking, why have we done this? All right, this is the point where we had went off. Another case where Israel has went off once again. All right, here it was. We were supposed to throw down the altars of these heathen nations of Canaan. All right, but we did not. All right, we did not. We continued to follow after our own will. Okay, verse 3. Therefore, I also will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your side, and their gods shall be as as snares unto you. All right, and snares are a stumbling block. All right, it would stop you from receiving the truth. All right, these snares and these stumbling blocks and these parables that are hidden in this book, this beautiful, beautiful book, this mystery. All right, Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi had put them here for our disobedience. All right, and only the elect, Abaratazah, I be of that number, you brothers and sisters be of that number. All right, only the elect would be able to understand and decipher the code. All right, being taught by the leaders of Israel, starting with the Apostle Tahar and his apostles before him, but starting with the Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakal. All right, and the men that are under them teaching and preaching this truth. Okay, it is this very thing that Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi has given us. Okay, continuing on, verse 4. And it came to pass, when the angel of Yahawah spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept, and they called the name of the place Bakhim, and they sacrificed there unto Yahawah. All right, and so matter of fact, Salakia, I forgot to pull it up. Give me 1 second. Let's go to the blue letter, and let's go ahead and look up that name. All right. All right, we're in the blue letter. This is Book of Judges, chapter 2, and verse 5. And the words we're looking up.
Strong's H 1066. Bochim.
Bochim. All right, Bochim. Weeping. A place near Gegel or Bethel, where sons of Israel wept. All right. So this is the place where the sons of Israel wept for our abominations and our atrocities that we had committed unto Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. All right. This is the very place where it goes to say that he was angry. All right. That we had disobeyed. All right. He asked us a question. Why would we do this? So he laid that snare and stumbling block before us. All right. Continuing on. Right, I'm gonna actually drop down to chapter stay in chapter 2, but drop down to verse 11, and it reads, and the children of Israel, Salakia, this is the book of Judges chapter 2 and verse 11, and the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahawah and served Balaam. All right, so we had sacrificed to other gods. All right, when the stony tablets, all right, the stony tablets of the 10 commandments, all right, when we broke the first commandments, it was the symbolism of us breaking breaking the commandments. All right, breaking the laws that were given unto us. Okay, continuing on, verse 12, and they therefore and Slakia and they forsook Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi of their fathers. It's like Yahawah of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods. Salaki, I was speaking too fast. And follow other gods of the people that were around about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yahawah to anger. So we provoked Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi to anger. All right, for bowing down to other gods, for worshiping the other gods, doing burnt offerings and burnt incense and sacrifices, all to these other false idols. All right, so Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi was right. All right, was right for chastising us. Let me continue on. This is the book of Judges, chapter 2, and verse 13, and it reads, and they forsook Yahawah and served Baal and Ashtarth, and the anger of Yahawah was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of the enemies around about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. All right, so Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi said he would make us a proverb and a byword. All right, back in the book of Deuteronomy. All right, if you look in the book of Deuteronomy and you go chapter 28, all right, you go to chapter 28 and it'll give you those curses. All right, it'll give you those exact curses because we made that covenant with Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi, and then we turned around and disobeyed the covenant that was set forth. Okay? Salakia. I'm continuing on reading. And this is verse 15, book of Judges, chapter 2, and verse 15. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of Yahawah was against them, for evil as Yahawah had said, and as Yahawah had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. All right, because we were in a low estate and greatly distressed still to this day. All right, from disobeying the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. Matter of fact, just for edification, let's go back again and see exactly what he said. This is the book of Exodus. All right, and this is going to be chapter 3 and verse 21, and it reads, beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. All right, so we did not get pardoned for our transgressions. All right, we had to live out our punishments, and we're continuously going through our punishments today. All right, still today. All right, even though it's almost at an end. All right, we're still going through them for the disobedience. Okay, I'm going to go over to the book of Baruch. All right, and this is going to be Baruch chapter 2 And I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, Therefore, Yahawah, Bashem Yahawashi, hath made good his word, which he promised against us and against our judges that judge Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah. Verse 2, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heavens, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses. All right, so here it is. Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi destroyed us for the disobedience. All right, and this was a part of those curses, a part of the chastisement that we had to go through for being disobedient children. All right, as a father loves a son, as a mother loves a daughter, all right, as a father loves a daughter, you will get chastised. And this is exactly the state that we are in. All right, but through the grace and mercy of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi, we are here now. The truth has been brought back unto us. Okay, I'm dropping down to verse 9. This is book of Baruch, chapter 2, and verse 9, and it reads, Wherefore Yahawah watcheth over us for evil, and Yahawah, Bashem Yahawashi, have brought it upon us. For Yahawah is righteous in all his works, which he hath commanded us. All right? So Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi is righteous for his judgments and everything that he has done to the nation. All right? To his nation, to his people. He called us by his name. All right? So we belong to him. More than any other nation on the planet, in the universe that we know of, Israel belongs to Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. So how much more should we be chastised? How much more should we have to go through, all right, to receive the promises, all right, that were already given unto us, but that we broke? This is going to be the book of Baruch. It's going to be chapter 4, and it's going to start at verse 6, and it reads, Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the power, Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi, to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to the power. All right? So this is why we were sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. It was already given to us in the law that we should not sacrifice unto any other God, for Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi is a jealous power. He is a jealous God. Okay? Verse 8, and it reads, Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved, you have forgotten the everlasting power that have brought you up. So we forgot Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi and the laws, statutes, and commandments that he had set before us. All right? The very things that he has set before us. Okay? Did not Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi give us these specific directions? All right? He gave us these particular directions. Okay? Let me go to the book of Deuteronomy. It's going to be the book of Deuteronomy. I got a couple more verses, then I'm going to go ahead and close out. But this is going to be the book of Deuteronomy, and it's going to be chapter 17. Chapter 17. And it's going to be starting at verse 7. And it reads, Slakia. It's chapter 7. Slakia. Apologies. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7. And it's going to start at verse 7. And it reads, Yahawah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. All right, so Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi didn't choose us because we were this great number. All right, he chose us because he chose us. All right, verse 8, and it goes here to tell you why. But because Yahweh loved you. All right, so Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi has loved Israel. All right, has loved Israel. I'm going to start that again. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 8. Because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. All right? So Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi delivered us from the land of Egypt. All right? Out of Pharaoh's hand. All right? For his will and his purpose. Okay? You can go to Amos. Let me go to Amos, Salakia. Go to Amos right quick. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, and verse 1. Hear ye the words that Yahweh have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole families which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. All right, so Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi only knows Israel and only cares about Israel, his people. All right, he said, for all the families of the earth have I known. It is you. All right, it is you. Okay, I'm continuing on. Therefore, I will punish you for your iniquities. All right, and we are being punished for our iniquities this day, for being disobedient children. Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy. Go back to the book of Deuteronomy. It's going to be chapter 30. Slacky, I'm almost there. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, and this is going to be verse 19, and it reads, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. All right, so Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi told us to choose life. He said a gift and a curse before us, life and death. All right, but we chose not to hearken unto Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi's word. All right, he gave us the very tools. All right, but we disobeyed Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. All right, and matter of fact, to show you that Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi gave us, it's in the book of Deuteronomy. It's going to be the book of Deuteronomy, and it's going to be in chapter 4. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and I'm going to just start at verse 5. And it reads, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahawah, my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land where ye go, to possess it. Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and sayings. Surely great nation is wise and understanding people. All right? This was what gave us our wisdom and knowledge. All right? Was Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm going to continue on to read verse 7 for edification. For that nation is there, Slakia, for what nation is there so great who hath Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi so nigh unto them, as Yahawah our power is in all things that we call upon him for. All right? So this is our wisdom. All right? Having the laws, statutes, and commandments. And to prove that the law, statutes, and commandments are the wisdom, all right, that are given unto the children of Israel. And this is that very thing that is for the nation of Israel, okay? That is for the nation of Israel, that makes us wise, all right? You cannot be saved by the law, all right? But we have to practice and rehearse the righteous acts of the law to the best of our ability, all right? But the law is important, okay? But being a man of Yahawashi, if you're an Israelite man, you're supposed to be out on the highways and byways, all right? That's part of the law. You're supposed to compel them to come into the marriage, man, woman, and child, all right? And change your ways, okay? Change your ways, all right? Salakia. We gotta go to the book of Baruch. I wanted to pull this out before Salakia. I overlooked it. This is the book of Baruch. And this is going to be Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. And it reads, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject unto payments according to all the iniquity of our fathers, which departed from Yahawah, our power. All right? Because we departed from Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi, our power. All right? We are yet still this day into our captivity, subject unto payments. All right? The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right? All the curses that would befall us from disobeying. But to prove to you once again through the will and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi that the law is important. All right? And that this is what makes us special. All right? Is having Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi and obeying his commandments. We're going to go to the book of Jeremiah. It's going to be chapter 31 and starting at verse 31, and it reads, Behold, the day comes, saith Yahawah, that I will make a new, Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi, I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, though I was a husband unto them, saith Yahawah. Verse 33, But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahawah, I will put my laws in their inward parts. And Salakia, the dog is snoring. I'll put that in the inward parts and write it on their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahawah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahawah, and I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. All right. So Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi established the law for him first and foremost to govern how the planet and everything was supposed to be ran. He gave it unto his people. All right. He chose his people to be a special, peculiar people, a special, peculiar treasure above all people, so that we may obey his laws, statutes, and commandments and govern the planet under his rule, under Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi's rule, starting with Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi, King David, the 12, and so on and so forth. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Salakia was a little bit all over the place, and the dog snoring, but I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahawashi Bahashem, Chak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayasha the house of David. This is Ayah Shatab with Men of Valor Las Vegas Camp. Till the next time I say Shalom, want a ball,